Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. If I were told that this was my last talk with you, I'd probably make these points. These are the suggestions that my career and personal coaching clients have found most useful. At some point, I've said them all to you, sometimes more than once, but this little talk aggregates them. First, how to choose a career. It needn't be complicated. You already know whether you're more of a word person, data person, artistic person, or entrepreneurial person. You already sense whether you want a white-collar or a blue-collar career. With just those factors in mind, scan the indexes of the free Occupational Outlook Handbook online. Just Google Occupational Outlook Handbook, you'll find it. And or my not quite free book, Careers for Dummies. Each of those books profiles 300 or more popular careers. Read maybe the half dozen of those career profiles that most intrigue you, and then consult there's usually an additional website that lists at the end of each profile you want to consult if it's still intriguing. If you do that, you'll have more wisely chosen a career than most people do. And another plus for that quick approach is that it gets you started on your career right away, rather than it's usually wise, rather than sitting on the sidelines waiting for the career to descend like manna from heaven. Why can I be so cavalier about it? Because within broad categories like those I just mentioned, job and career success usually matter far less on which career you choose than on a particular job's boss, coworkers, whether you get to work on meaningful projects, the ethics of the place, the pay, job security. Put your effort into getting great training and then in taking the time to find a job with those attributes. Now a few words on landing a job. One size doesn't fit all. Great networkers should network and even cold contact prospective employers. But people who haven't networked well in the past may be wise to focus on identifying great fit job openings and crafting a cover letter on a resume that proves you really are a good fit. I mean, using websites like LinkedIn or Indeed will expose you to many, many job listings. And also, very often your profession has an association and a website which may have job listings that are different than on Indeed or on LinkedIn. Okay, in the interview, I do encourage radical honesty. Volunteering your weaknesses as well as your strengths. That'll get you rejected from the wrong jobs and accepted for at least one right one. No guarantees, but that's your best shot in my judgment. And now some thoughts about succeeding on the job. Onboard well by getting expectations clear from your boss. Also set up one-on-ones with coworkers to learn what's important but not in the employee handbook. Try to get a visible early win, for example, at a meeting. Propose an idea that builds on your boss's idea, and it gets adopted. When you have the power to call a meeting, think twice. Hold a meeting mainly when real-time group input is important. When interaction isn't key or the input isn't very time-sensitive, it's usually wiser to query the group by email than have a meeting. Also, a heck of a lot of meeting time is wasted on people giving updates, very often dog and pony shows that are self-aggrandizing. That can usually be done more efficiently by email. Try to develop public speaking skills, whether by joining Toastmasters or simply by practicing your talk with just an index card in front of you listing your main points. Unless you're a government leader where every wrong word is going to be used against you, don't script it. That leaches the crucial chemistry from your talk. Now a few words on self-employment. It's embarrassing to me, but after 20 years after I came up with this idea, it's still my favorite. Non-food carts in office building lobbies or at mass transit terminals. You sell the winning local team's t-shirts and hats, umbrellas when rainy, romantic gifts, and Valentine's Day. You get the idea. Why is that idea so good? Minimal cost, minimal expertise, and it's scalable. Run the first cart yourself for a month or two so you really know the business. Then find a location for a second cart, perhaps having a trusted friend run it. Keep expanding until you've made enough annual income. Then either keep it at that level and or sell it to somebody who'd like to expand it further. Now some thoughts on finding a romantic partner. Use dating apps, sure, but wisely. I mean, there's so many millions of people on them, it's hard to ignore those. Write an honest profile. That'll screen out the wrong people and screen in the right ones. Reach out to people who seem quite compatible. Have high standards. There are countless fish in the sea. In the dating app sea for sure. If your first impression of a person is that he or she isn't right, that's usually, it's wise to turn your attention elsewhere than to try to fix the person. You might also consider getting set up. The people who care about you are likely to screen in good fits, and they know the person they're setting you up with, so there's less chance of phoniness in the profile being the way the person is being described. Go to an ongoing activity where your Mr. or Ms. Right might be. A class that meets multiple times, volunteer activity, or at work. Although that can be risky if not prohibited at your workplace. Your chance of meeting someone right is greater in those because you get to see the person ongoing, unlike, for example, at a bar, dance, or concert. Finally, a word about parenting. My favorite parenting tip is to build intrinsic motivation. That means that your child is choosing to behave not for a reward or fear of punishment, but because he or she feels it's the right thing to do. You can foster that intrinsic motivation by, when a misbehavior occurs, rather than yelling or punishing when you can, invoking a sense of responsibility. For example, this is the third time I've asked you to clean your room, and each time you say you will. I know you want to be a responsible member of this family, okay? And usually don't end the lecture there. So, is there anything in the foregoing that you'd like to try? In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.